Hi, I'm Kat Robinson. Welcome to my kitchen. I have for many years crisscrossed the state looking for great restaurants, culinary adventures, and superlative stories about Arkansas and its people. Now it's time we turn our attention to our magnificent chefs and home cooks who are coming back to their kitchens and sharing what they do. Folks are discovering what's in their pantry and recognizing how to use it. We're going back to our old church and community cookbooks and our family card files with recipes from our grandparents and our great-grandparents, and bringing out some of our own favorite comfort food dishes. It's a unique time to celebrate our state's culinary traditions. Like many of you, I'm rediscovering my kitchen and what I can create in this space. So are my friends, home cooks, and top chefs that are working with the ingredients that they have on hand to create delectable dishes. It's an extraordinary time to share these delights with our families and others, and to bring us all to the virtual table together. Let's head up to Harriet in the Arkansas Ozarks, where my friends Ruth and Grace Pepler are going to show us how to take farm fresh hen eggs and make the perfect 2-egg omelet.
Hi, my name is Grace. This is my mother Ruth, and we are at Dogwood Hills Guest Farm in Harriet, Arkansas. Today we're going to show you how to make a 2-egg omelet.
We're going to start by pre-cooking all our ingredients that are going to go along with our omelet. So first we're going to heat our skillets. And we've got some cast iron skillets here. We're going to do our mushrooms and our sausage ahead of time. So we'll get our sausage in this pan. We've got some nice patties. These are locally grown pork ground for us for sausage. And now we've added our own ingredients. We have ginger, sage, and local maple syrup, along with some salt and pepper. Okay, we're gonna put them on low and get them going because that's the very last thing we're gonna need. We're also gonna start our mushrooms over here. First, we need to take our mushrooms that we got at the store and we're gonna brush them off. You can wash them. That's another way. If you're gonna use them right away, don't wash mushrooms that you're gonna put back in the refrigerator. Taking our button stem off, toss it to the side. You can save that to make a soup stock or something later, so don't throw those out. Put them in a baggie and get them in your stock. And we're gonna get our mushrooms cut nice and thin, pop that stem out. And we're gonna dump these in this pan with, how about a little bit of butter there? And just throw a little bit more butter in that for me.
Butter?
Yeah, just a little pat of butter is fine. If we were making one omelet, this is probably enough mushrooms for one omelet. Since there's 2 of us here this morning, we're gonna make 2 for breakfast because it's smelling really good.
So while she's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and start cracking our eggs. Because these are farm fresh eggs, we always crack them into a separate bowl that we're not gonna mix in, just in case it got stuck behind the hen. Take our fork and we're gonna lightly beat them. Then set that aside. Gonna take our brush and just put, probably half a tablespoon of butter or so in our pan. Get it nice and coated so that our egg doesn't stick. A little more butter in the mushrooms.
A little bit more butter in the mushrooms. There we go. And Grace and I are big fans of brown butter.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So she's going to let that get so it's almost a little toasty and well bubbled up before she puts her eggs in there and gives you a really nice nutty flavor to the butter.
See our butter's starting to bubble. We're going to give it another, 20 or 30 seconds and let it start. You don't want it to hit the smoking point, but right about before that, you're gonna put your egg in. So this is a carbon steel. It's a French crepe pan actually, but it works really well for omelets too because it has that nice flat edge it helps you lift it up. Like cast iron, it needs to be seasoned, and once it gets that seasoning on it, it's pretty non-stick, which is one of the really nice things, especially for omelets. So our pan's pretty ready. I normally take my fork that I use to beat it and just let a little bit of the egg drip into it and see if it's ready. So it is. I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in. And I'm gonna turn my heat down a little more and sort of help my egg around that pan. You can see we have those nice bubbles. That's that result of that pan getting nice and hot before we put it in.
Would you like your spinach wilted a little bit in the pan too, or would you like it fresh in your omelet? Which do you prefer?
I think I normally like it a little fresh because that heat that's left over from our omelet is going to help cook it just a little bit.
But you could certainly cook your spinach if you like it a little bit more done and not so fresh. You could saute it in your pan, just slide your mushrooms over a little bit and throw a little spinach in there.
Okay. So my egg is fully set now, and I'm going to take my spatula, I'm going to flip it over, and see we got that nice golden color on it. And these mushrooms are pretty well done. They're still going to have a little bit of texture to them, which is nice. They're not too soft. I'm going to take some of our spinach and put it in first. Now at this point, I've turned off my pan so that it doesn't overcook the egg, because there's still a lot of that extra heat because it's that steel pan, holds that heat really well. So we got my spinach in there. Take some of these mushrooms, spread them out. There you go. I'm gonna take a little bit of cheese. I personally like a lot of cheese in my omelets, but you can put however much that you want. And you can use different kinds of cheese. This is just a sharp cheddar that we shredded real fine. And so now that we got everything in there, I'm gonna take it and fold it back over. And it'll sit for just a second and everything else will melt and it'll be ready to eat.
You want to make sure your sausage is cooked through all the way. It's because if it was a pork chop, you could cook it to a medium rare and leave a little bit of pink in there, but because we've ground it, we've handled it, and pressed it together, we want to make sure we've cooked it all the way through.
So while she's watching that, I'm gonna go around and grab a plate.
So we've got our omelet. I don't know if you can see under here. All our cheese is getting nice and melty. I'll turn that around for you. It's all coming together. Our spinach is just wilting a bit and our cheese is melting. Mushrooms are still nice and hot. And we're gonna get these all plated for you.
So when I got my plate, I'm just gonna take this omelet, I'm gonna slide it right off there.
Now, if you're looking for a vegetarian omelet, we've still got everything here. There's been no meat. We've used butter, we've used our cheese, our egg, and our spinach, mushrooms. Right now we have our sausage, so we can put this on the side. Today I think we're gonna put a sausage patty on the side there.
There you are.
Okay, maybe two, huh? You hungry?
Yeah.
There we go. And then there's also some really nice strawberries from the high tunnel. We can put those on there too. And there you go. There's your 2-egg omelet.
Comfort food can be healthy and quick to prepare as well. My friend Kobe Smith is going to show us how to make an excellent dish of dill salmon and asparagus.
So we're back here in the kitchen, and today we're going to do a sauteed asparagus with a dill salmon. First we're going to do the asparagus. Right now this is a wonderful spring vegetable. It's probably the cheapest time of the year that you're going to find it. The way that I like to do asparagus, I like to get the really young, pencil thin asparagus. And a lot of people don't know where to cut off the asparagus because we're not going to use the whole thing because a lot of this is tough. So what I'll do here is I'll take one sprig and simply just break it off. And wherever it breaks off, this is the part that I'm going to use. You know, they all kind of break apart at different places. So I'm just going to do enough for a serving. And all this right here, you could feed to your chickens, or you could actually make soup out of it. And so we've got our pan right now. It's starting to get a little hot. And just going to lightly saute it. We want to keep it nice and fresh and green. I hit it with just a little bit of lemon pepper. Gonna minimize our salt intake here for this dish. And we'll saute this for about 2 minutes. Or if you don't want to do it like this, you can actually put it on a sheet pan and roast it in the oven for about 10 minutes and get the same exact result. And so as you can see, our asparagus is nice and cooked. It's got a little color to it. It's still green, it's still a little firm and not real mushy. And so this is really how I like my asparagus. And we're gonna take this and we're just gonna plate it up real pretty light. There it is. And now we're gonna take our pan, same pan, I'm just gonna wipe it out a little bit. Now we're gonna get it hot. And so now I've got 2 salmon fillets. I'm gonna season this with some more lemon pepper. I like to use the lemon just because of the acidity. It actually seasons the food without using the sodium or the salt. And then I've got some dry dill leaves that we're just gonna season right here. Just a little bit of clarified butter. I'll get that good and hot, almost to smoking. Now we've got 2 pieces. We've got, this is what I call the top, and then we have the bottom. I always like to cook the top first. So just like that. Okay. Now again, I'm going to take a little of our lemon pepper and a little bit of our dill, just like that. Now we're going to get a good sear on it. Once we get our salmon cooked, we're going to make a really quick pan sauce with just some lemons and some butter. Go ahead and flip these over. Now, as you can see, we got a really good sear on it. Cooking it this method doesn't take but just a few minutes, about 2 minutes on each side. That's a great thing about fish. It doesn't take long to cook and you don't want to overcook it. So we've got our plate here. We've already got our asparagus there. And we're gonna know when this is done, when it kind of starts to flake apart a little bit. You can kind of see where it's a little translucent right there. Means we're almost there. We're gonna take one of these pieces of salmon. We're gonna plate just like that. Then we'll take this other one, just put it to the side. And so now we're gonna make a quick little sauce for this. We're gonna take our lemon juice. Like this. As you can see, got a little lemon seed in there we're gonna scoop out. Now we're gonna just take some cold butter. Just a pat or two. As you can see, we got a nice little frothy sauce from our lemon juice and our butter. We're gonna just keep moving it around so we don't want to break the butter. We want to keep it whole. And then we've got a nice little pan sauce that goes right over the top of that. And maybe we'll take one of our little lemon wedges to garnish. And just to spruce it up a little bit, I've got a little Cajun seasoning. We'll just kind of dust it right there. And that you have a really, really quick asparagus and salmon dish brought to you by your friends at Carti.
Hankering for something sweet? If your pantry's a little shy of ingredients, Kelly Marks has you covered. She's going to show us how to make oatmeal cookies with these little flavored oatmeal packets.
Hi, I'm Kelly Marks of Sweet Love, and welcome to my kitchen at home. For our quarantine baking, I thought it would be fun to just kind of poke around and see what I had in the pantry, and I realized at some point I thought I was going to eat a lot of oatmeal. So I had all these little oatmeal packets and thought these would make really great breakfast cookies. So today I'm going to be using this raisin, date, and walnut package. I've also got some maple and brown sugar that would make some delicious cookies. This one is super simple. Everything just goes right into the bowl. Mix it up. You don't need a stand mixer or a hand mixer or anything. Just do it with a bowl. Very easy for the kids. So we have got a 1/4 cup of butter going in right here, and it's melted, so we're not even gonna have to cream it. I've got a 1/4 cup of brown sugar going in as well. I'm just gonna get that kind of mixed and combined. Then I've got 1 cup of flour. And for leavener and for a little bit of seasoning, I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Now I'm going to add 1 egg. And the last thing to go in is our oatmeal packet. And what's great about this is it's got our oatmeal, it's got our seasoning, it's also got walnuts and raisins, so it's got all these fun inclusions in our cookies. Now, if you wanted to add a little bit more, you could add like a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. We could also add some extra raisins, dates, any kind of nuts that you might have in your pantry. But what's great about the little packet is that it's already got everything in it ready to go. So now that it's pulled together, I'm just gonna take my handy little scoop and kind of push it together here. And then in this bowl, I've got some cinnamon and sugar, and I'm just gonna toss this kind of like you would a snickerdoodle cookie, and then put it right on the tray. Give it a little smash, and then just keep scooping the rest. You're gonna get about 8 to 10 cookies out of this, which is a nice amount for a little snack if you just want something in the afternoon to pick you up, or breakfast for the week. So go through, scoop all of them out, and we're gonna bake them in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. And I've already got some that are done, so let's check those out. Delicious. They're crinkly, they are soft, and then they've got just a nice little crumb to them. They're not too sweet, so they're perfect for breakfast. And like I said, so easy for the kids to do. Hope you guys enjoy.
Cheese dip. It's very particular to Arkansas, especially Central Arkansas, where a restaurant can make or break it depending on the quality of their cheese dip. And today I'm going to show you how to make it. We're going to start off with our pot over medium heat. And we're going to take our butter and go ahead and put it right into the pot and get it melting. It's a whole stick of butter. The Donnelly family began serving cheese dip at Mexico Chiquito. They're credited with coming up with a recipe all the way back in 1935. Other restaurants followed suit. Pancho's, a Mexican restaurant that's very well known in West Memphis, came up with its own variety in 1956. And in the 1980s, the Blue Mesa Grill in Little Rock is credited with the very first ever white cheese dip. Today, one of the most famous cheese dips you're going to find is at Stobie's, which is a Conway favorite. Native son Chris Allen won American Idol and praised the fantastic dip at Stobie's, making it a worldwide sensation. Now that my butter has melted, I'm going to incorporate 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. The key here is not to develop a dark roux, but to simply make sure all of the flour is fully incorporated and cooked. adding this step to your cheese dip ensures that it'll have that appropriate cling on the chip. That didn't take long at all. It's time for our spices. For this operation, we're going to switch to a whisk to make sure that all of the ingredients get incorporated properly. We're going to start off with 1 teaspoon of chili powder, then a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half of a teaspoon of dry mustard, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of hot pepper sauce. And now, the milk. We're going to add 2 cups, more if we need it. Making sure all those spices are fully incorporated. See, that doesn't take long at all. And now the cheese. This is definitely just American cheese. I get it thick sliced in my local deli. I only add a few pieces at a time because I want it to completely melt. You want to make sure that you can get up underneath the entirety of the dip so that nothing burns the bottom. Once you have your cheese, your spices, and your milk incorporated into your flour and butter, you have cheese dip. Now you can serve it directly from the pot, or if it's going to be a little while before it's served, put it in a fondue pot or a crock pot on simmer so it will stay warm and gooey. Oh, would you look at that? It's glorious. It sticks to the spatula. It sheets down. This cheese dip is ready to serve. Let's give it a shot. The traditional way to enjoy cheese dip is with tortilla chips. They're very sturdy and they have a large surface area. But I like mine with the thick, wavy cut potato chips. This right here is called the Little Rock roll, and that's whenever you roll your chip so all the dip stays on your chip and doesn't drop on your shirt. Let's give it a shot. Hungry for more? Stay tuned. There's plenty to come.
Welcome to the Arkansas PBS studios. I'm Karen Cooper and I'm here social distancing with our good friend Kat Robinson. And of course we're going to be talking to Kat in just a minute or two about how this program came to be. But first off, we want to talk to you about some wonderful thank you gifts that are available for you to support Arkansas PBS. The first, of course, is a DVD of the program Home Cooking with Kat and Friends that you can receive for your gift of $60 or becoming a sustainer at $5 a month ongoing. And then for your gift of $120 or being a sustainer at $10 a month ongoing, you have your choice of one of 4 of Kat's fabulous books, and she's going to give you more information so you can pick out which one you like.
Arkansas has such a wide variety of culinary dishes that you're going to enjoy, and you can do that with the book Arkansas Food, the A to Z of eating in the natural state, with more than 130 different recipes, including that cheese dip recipe that I just showed you. There's plenty to enjoy here. Every page is full color, more than 450 different color photos in this book. This is something for every home cook. But say you're not interested in cooking, you'd like somebody else to do that. Well, we have 101 things to eat in Arkansas before you die. This guide will take you across all the regions of Arkansas to the very best that the natural state has to offer. And every one of these listings has a phone number, so you can call in advance and find out if they're open and whether they have dine-in or curbside. This is all available right here. And whenever you run out of restaurants in this book, you have 102 more things to eat in Arkansas before you die, which is even more of all the great plates the natural state has to offer. Then, of course, we have the travel guide for pie lovers in Arkansas, another slice of Arkansas pie. This companion book to the Arkansas PBS program, Make Room for Pie, has more than 400 different locations where you can find pie throughout the state of Arkansas, set out by region, so you can literally start at the beginning of the book and dine your way to the end, though probably don't want to try that one in a day. These are all our gifts to you.
Well, and on top of that, if you'd like to show your support of Arkansas PBS, Kat is modeling the wonderful PBS Nerd apron that we have available for your gift of $144, or choosing to be a sustainer at $12 a month ongoing. But how could you decide between all those books? I mean, so why not do a gift of $360 or be a sustainer at $30 a month ongoing and receive the DVD, the apron, and all 4 books. Plus, at any of those gift levels that we talked about, you're going to receive a little booklet of the recipes that are in this show. Thank you very much, Kat. We appreciate that. So you'll also wind up at all of those gift levels being able to access a ETN Passport, which brings you thousands of hours of programming that you can enjoy streaming on whatever device you choose at whatever time that you decide that you want to watch. So give us a call at 1-800-662-2386 or myarkansaspbs.org. Being a sustainer is an easy way to support, easy on the budget. If you've not made a gift before, we have this great challenge that's available for your donation. If you've not made a gift before, or if it's been a couple of years, we'll wind up being able to count you towards the Susan Howarth Foundation Challenge. We were challenged to bring on 3,000 new members, new donors within a 100-day period. And so we're getting there, but we still need to hear from those of you to help us, because once we receive that, it's $20,000 additionally that comes into our programming fund. So let us know that you love Arkansas PBS, all the programs we air, special things that we air like Home Cooking with Kat and Friends. Give us a call. And now I want to find out from Kat how this program came about to be. How did it just all come together?
Well, for years, we've been seeing so much in social media about people going to restaurants and taking pictures of the food that they eat, a celebration of our restaurant experience. Now we see so many more of our home cooks going to social media to celebrate what they're able to make in their own homes. They're not only using recipes they might have found online, but many of them are going back to their old church cookbooks or family card case of recipes and making these great recipes and sharing them out. We're capitalizing on that and going to many of the cooks and chefs that are in our area and finding out what they're doing, and they're sharing with us what they're bringing to their tables, that they're sharing with their families, and in turn they're sharing with all of our families. It's a really unique opportunity for us to share what's happening in these homes and homes across the state of Arkansas. I love the fact that we are coming back to a time where we are breaking bread together even if we're not at the same table.
Well, and I love that whole thing, and I love the fact that it's not like a lot of these chefs or families have run out to get particular things that they needed. It's kind of like they decided and figured out how to do these just with what they have in their pantry. And
yes.
So making it even different than what it originally was.
It's, for instance, it's Kelly Marks going to her pantry and saying she has individually flavored packages of oatmeal, so why not make a nice sweet bite with some quick oatmeal cookies? And you saw just how easy that is. It's wonderful to be able to share that with your family. So maybe you don't have a certain element that normally would come to your cooking. Making do with what we have is very Arkansas, and it goes back to how we were raised and how our state has been handling its culinary devices for generations.
Well, and I'm one of those that I have to have a recipe. I might change it after I get real familiar, but need to have a recipe. So I appreciate the fact that there's so much of this that's available on a recipe, and then once I feel comfortable, maybe I can change it if I need to. So if you are excited about this type of gathering and get together, and if you like thinking about Arkansas PBS as part of your family, we'd love to have you go ahead and join us if you haven't made a gift before. It's 1-800-662-2386. We have wonderful thank thank you gifts all related to this. We're happy to have Kat here in our studios to talk about this home cooking with Kat and friends. It's a great reflection, as she said, about families getting together, whether you're breaking bread together or even from a distance. Great to have it kind of looking back and going back to that whole thing. Plus, I think we'll be talking later on about how a lot of this has to do with, you know, using products that are you know, really part of Arkansas, that are part of the agriculture of Arkansas. So give us a call, make your pledge of support these great programs and others that you tune into to watch on Arkansas PBS. And remember, if you've not made a gift before, you can count towards that Susan Howarth Foundation Challenge. It's 3,000 new donors within 100 days. We're getting close on both the number and the number of days allowed. So go ahead, give us a call.
Welcome back to Home Cooking with Kat and Friends. I'm Kat Robinson. Green tomatoes. Now, whether they are picked early or are windfalls from a summer storm, they make the basis for our most popular condiment to go with fried catfish, green tomato relish. But in the 1980s, a book called Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe by Franny Flagg and its subsequent movie brought the side dish to national attention. My friend Ken Dempsey, though, elevates it even more with a recipe he created from items he found in his own pantry, taking it from humble side dish to noble world-class entree.
Hello everybody, Chef Ken Dempsey here. My daughter, I think, may know what we're doing. What do you think we're doing?
Fried green tomatoes.
Fried green tomatoes, you knew.
And they're gonna be really yummy.
Yes, they are. You know why?
Why?
Because you're gonna help. Ha-ha! She didn't know that. These are gonna have a little twist though. First twist, instead of a regular breadcrumb, we have, these are also from the market we go to at Me McGee Market here close to where I live, about 10 minutes away. Some pork rinds. That's the crust that we're gonna use. Just crushed up pork rinds. In our shrimp, avocado, fresh corn, onion, tomato salsa, we are gonna put strawberries in there. I know, it's a little weird, but I'm telling you, the little sweetness on top of the really savory green tomato is gonna be delicious. All right, we have some really simple ingredients for our shrimp salsa that we're gonna do. Got some nice shrimp, some grape tomatoes, red onion, have an avocado from Mexico, fresh corn on the cob that I also found at Me McGee Market today, and those beautiful strawberries. And here's the green tomatoes that I've salt and peppered, little flour to start off with, then the egg wash, and then going down with the pork rinds and into the grease. We're gonna season this shrimp with a little rub that I make for my barbecue. Happens to go really well with just about everything. Get a nice little turn. Sizzle, sizzle. These are gonna cook for about 2 minutes on each side. I want to try to get a little sear on there. When they're done, we're gonna chop them up. We're combining all those ingredients. All right, it's been about a minute and a half. I'm gonna turn my shrimp. So you can see that. That's kind of the color we're looking for. This cast iron's really hot. As soon as I get these turned, I'm gonna turn the heat off and remove the pan from the heat. Because that's gonna carry plenty of heat to finish the rest of the shrimp up. All right, my shrimp have come out of the pan, cooled off a little bit. I stuck them in the freezer for about 5 minutes. And all I'm gonna do is give these things a chop, each one of them. I know it seems a little tedious, but it's worth it. All right, all my shrimp are chopped up in the bowl. Lots of shrimp, good stuff. Tomatoes in. There you go. You want to do the corn? Be careful. Got it? There you go, berries. You're gonna get some. Avocados. your green tomato, put it in the flour. There you go. All the way around. Boop, 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 boop. Flip it over. Yep, there you go. A little shake. Give it a little shake. Alright, put it in egg wash. There you go. Put it in our pork rinds. Just put it in there. There you go. Pick up some of that with your dry hand. There you go. That's why you keep one of your hands dry, so you can pick up dry stuff. That'll work. Both sides, give a little press. Dried green tomatoes. I've got 3 over here done already. I'm gonna throw this in the oil. A couple at a time. Oil should be about 350. Cook for a couple minutes till they're golden brown. Done with the tomatoes, golden brown, pork rind crusted. Take my shrimp, strawberry, salsa, whatever you want to call it, deliciousness, right on top. Made some remoulade earlier. It's just a mayo based. It's got some sriracha, little sugar, some herbs. Finish it off with some cilantro. There we have fried green tomatoes with a little summer shrimp, strawberry. You call it what you want. We're just gonna eat it.
One of my favorite Arkansas cookbooks is Feast of Eden, written by Ruby Thomas of the Red Apple Inn up in Heber Springs. This is one of the best examples of mid-century Arkansas cookbook that you can find anywhere. Now, Ruby's grandson, Scott McGee, and co-proprietor John Beachboard of Zaza Pizza and Salads join us to share with us a great recipe for grilled pizza, which is incidentally grilled on a PK grill, which is another Arkansas product. Check it out.
Hey guys, Scott McGee here, John Beachboard, founders and owners of Zaza Pizza, and we are here today to show you how to take some pizza fixins home and make some incredible grilled pizza on our PK grill or your grill. So it comes with our incredible house-made San Marzano tomato sauce, some really good mozzarella, our pepperonis, cherry tomatoes, fresh basil, Parmigiano Reggiano, and tube dough balls. And of course the box, which you will need.
And so we've got a hot side here and we have a cold side here.
All right, John, let's put a little flour on there. And John's gonna start just kind of pressing the dough with his fingers. You want to make it relatively thin. You can use a rolling pin to do this. We're used to doing it with our hands. That's just kind of our method.
And here's the other thing. If you can make a circular pizza, perfect. This does not have to be the most pretty thing in the world.
This can be the ugliest thing.
It can be misshaped.
Delicious.
The more misshaped it is, the more delicious it's going to be, I promise. You can get holes in it. You can do all types of things on a grill method that you otherwise wouldn't.
There we go. That's looking good. We'll get it a little thinner maybe. And you can, if you get a big hole, you can, after you put it on here, you can then kind of close it up. You suture it up by pressing it with your fingers.
So I'm gonna put it on here. And I'm gonna patch these holes with my fingers a little bit. And I'm not really gonna care because it's gonna be delicious. Oh, go ahead.
Yep. Okay, so now we're gonna put it on the grill. And you're gonna start on the hot side. And it's going to take about a minute or two. You probably want to rotate it once after about a minute. And you want the bottom to be a little bit brown and crispy all over, but not burned. Maybe a little bit.
Let's set a 1 minute timer. All right, so we're right at about a minute. The side closest over here is a little bit hotter. Now,
that's pretty.
Use tongs. But I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees from where it was. I'm going to put it back.
Yeah, probably another minute
down.
at this point. Depending on the heat, it'll take probably about 2 minutes. If you're a little bit too hot, maybe a little less. If you're a little too cool, maybe a little bit more.
If you like it like my dad likes it, which is completely and totally black,
Yeah,
go longer, go hotter.
Yeah.
You like it perfect, the right way, go a little bit lower, go a little bit slower.
Yeah, well, we actually did a tester before this, and the fire was too hot, and it was one of the best pizzas I've had in like 2 years. These big bumps, you can kind of poke them down a little bit.
Well, we're gonna flatten it all out. So look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more. I like it. I like to do that first side until it's pretty. It has a tiny bit of delicious char on it. Now we've rotated this thing. Let's check the bottom. It should be like a little bit of char, nice and golden brown. Now you don't even need flour when you flip it. You flip it onto the box.
We're gonna flip it upside down.
Yeah. So we're gonna make this side with all the sauce and cheese and stuff, and then put it back on the grill. So next, he's gonna build it just like you build any pizza. A little tomato sauce, and you know we give you probably more tomato sauce than you need because you don't want it. You don't want to just kill it with tomato sauce. Usually Napoli-style pizza, you're going to use a little bit higher quality but fewer ingredients. And so spread the sauce out. Try to get it right, kind of close to the edge, so that you have that delicious cheese and sauce, and not too much dough on the edge. We like to say kind of a thumbnail as a standard. And you know, you could use a little more sauce than that, but I think that looks like plenty. So you're probably gonna have a little extra sauce at home. Cheese, you have 2 containers of cheese, and John's gonna spread it kind of evenly, and he's gonna kind of get it to the edges. There you go, perfect. Now, pepperoni, if it's your thing. I think we include 12 or 15 pepperonis in this box.
I'm only gonna use 5 or 6.
Yeah, because everyone likes to just eat a couple pepperonis on top of what they put on their pizza. You want to put some tomato on it now or later, John?
Let's do it. Let's do it late. Let's do it when we put it on the grill.
Dig it.
So
Okay. So now we're going to put it on the cold side to kind of melt everything. But if we need to, towards the end, if it's not brown enough on the bottom, we can switch it to the hot side.
You want to throw some tomatoes on now?
Yeah, why not?
Well, let's wait a minute.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna set another 1 minute timer.
When you're cooking the second side, it might take 4 or 5 minutes depending on how hot your grill is. You want to cook it much longer on the second side to help. I also have it closed to hold in that temperature so that you can kind of create an oven in there so that you're melting the cheese and all the ingredients on the top of the pizza. So now we're giving a little rotation. Now we can put some more ingredients now, John, if you want to.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We'll put some, I mean, I love just the raw cherry tomatoes on there, but I also like them cooked. I mean, it's just 2 different animals, both delicious. We'll put a little Parmigiano Reggiano now or at the end.
Let's do it.
Yeah, a little Parmigiano Reggiano, one of my favorite cheeses in the world. So now, it's been a couple minutes on the cold side, so we've melted a lot of that cheese on top, kind of warmed things up. But how's the bottom looking, John? Is it still pretty blonde?
Bottom is still really blonde.
So
I'll
we're
let
gonna
you
move
take a look under there. Still really blonde.
So we're gonna move it back to the hot side at this point, and we're gonna finish the pizza and get it nice and charred on the bottom. This is the point where you kind of have to lift up the bottom every 30, 45 seconds and just kind of check and keep rotating it a little bit. It's really simple. It slides around on that grill really easy. It's much easier than a pizza you would do like in a wood burning oven or something like that. But at this point, John will just check it every 30 seconds or so, and we like it a little more charred than most. I mean, John and I like our pizza about, you know, what other people might say burned, but we call it beautiful crispy char.
I'm still gonna give it a rotation here too, if I can. I'm just using my tongs.
All right, so it's been about 2 minutes on the first side, about 5 on the second side. How's it looking over there? Oh my gosh, that's it. Crisp, beautiful, charred, delicious. We'll put it on a.
You know what? We've got a pizza box.
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't even need a fancy wooden platter. You got a pizza box to put it on. Everything you need but the flour, pretty much. I mean, did we use anything but flour and a little oil for the grill? Yeah, so that's it, man. That is the finished product right there. And, you know, when you're done with it, throw a little Parmesan on there. Why not? Look at that. Let's get a beauty shot here real quick.
Come on.
All right. There you go. Yeah, throw some green on there. We're gonna give you plenty of fresh basil. Let's give this a shot. See what you think, Johnny. Oh, look at that. Ooh. Ooh, that was cooking well.
Our kitchens aren't just places to fill our bellies. They're also gathering places for our families. Zara Abassi shows us how to make delightful, natural strawberry popsicles with just 2 ingredients and a couple of accomplices.
Hey guys, my name is Zara Abassi and I'm a pastry chef and a recipe developer here in Little Rock, and I've got a fun little recipe for you for strawberry popsicles that you can make with your kids. If you don't have any kids, you can find some on the street like I did. I just found these 2 kids roaming around and they're gonna help me today, right, little strange kids? Yeah?
Not strange.
Oh, sorry, you live here? Who are you?
Amila.
Oh, this is Amila, and who are you?
Razik.
This is Razik. So, just kidding, obviously, they're my kids. And they're gonna help us make some strawberry popsicles. Have you made strawberry popsicles before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we have, haven't we? So this is something that we've made before, and it's super simple and it's fun to do. Strawberries are in season right now, so let's go over the ingredients very quickly. They're not that many, but we have some fresh Arkansas strawberries. These are sweet and they're in season, and the best time to use them is right now. You can even freeze them for later. We have a little bit of sugar because we don't know how sweet they are. We might want them a little bit sweeter. And then we have a popsicle mold. Obviously you need the sticks as well. So these are really all the things you need to make really spectacular strawberry popsicles. So what we're gonna do is we're going to cut these up. So what you wanna do is cut up your strawberries and taste one. Obviously you want to see how sweet your berries are and how much more sugar you need, if you need anything at all. You might not. We wanted a little bit more sweeter, so this is about 2 cups of cut up fresh berries, and we used a little bit less than a 1/4 cup of sugar, and we let it sit. So I'll show you a close-up. When you let strawberries and sugar sit for a while, what happens is they start releasing their own juice, and this is exactly what you want for it to create its own syrup, because that means juices are coming out and sugar is going in. So that's what you want, and creates a lovely little sauce too. All right, you guys ready? This is where you guys come in, okay? You want to taste one?
Yeah.
And find out if it's sweet enough for us? Here, why don't you grab one, that little piece. You think that's sweet enough? What do you think? We need more sugar or more berries? Or is it good?
A little bit more sugar.
A little bit more sugar? Okay. So we're gonna take just a little bit because the chefs have spoken, but not too much, because what's gonna happen is as they sit, they're gonna get sweeter. So this is what we're gonna do. Take all of these berries and pour them in here, and then what do you think the most important thing to do is when you're blending something?
Make sure the cap is on.
Cap is on tight, because you don't want to wear this. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna blend this up. It might get a little bit loud, so we'll see you in a second after this blends. Okay, I think that's blended enough. What do you think, Razik?
Yeah.
What do you think, Amila?
Yeah.
Okay, Razik, you helped to blend it, and now Amila, you're gonna help us. Lucky for us, we have a sink close by. Look at this nifty thing. It's a little cup, and it bends, so you can pour into little places. So if you poured from here, you would make a mess. But because you pour from here, it's gonna be a lot easier. All right, you guys wanna pour half and half? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have our popsicle mold. You can get it from pretty much anywhere nowadays. Amila, I'm gonna switch places with you. Fill it up to right here, do a few, and then let Razik do a few too. That's good. Okay, let Razik do a few. So you can do more if you want to. What we're gonna end up with is about 6 popsicles, but we have a lot more berries, so we may do another batch. Okay, so we've got them blended, we've got them in the molds. Depending on how your mold works, you're gonna secure the top, and then you're gonna put a popsicle stick in, not all the way because it's gonna poke through the other end. And then I'm gonna have Razik, you can do a couple, and Amila, here you go, you do that side, Razik, you do that side. And then we'll show you a frozen popsicle that we made last time. Wish we had batches and batches of it, but we went through them pretty quickly, didn't we? Okay, look at this. This is what the final product looks like. Our final Lone Ranger that's left from our last batch, so we could show you. And if you have only one, what do? Do you give it to this strange kid that I just found, or this kid? Or we could be nice and give it to the cameraman.
Cooking for family and cooking with your family is an opportunity to connect with your roots. Today, we've shared recipes fit for the finest restaurants and some down-home favorites while celebrating what's on our plates here in the natural state. I hope you've become more inspired to explore Arkansas's culinary heritage and offerings. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome back to the Arkansas PBS studios. I'm Karen Cooper here with the absolutely wonderful Kat Robinson, and I want to talk a little bit about one of those last chefs. It was the fried green tomatoes.
Oh my heavens. Ken Dempsey does an extraordinary job of taking something that's become a Southern staple since the introduction of fried green tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe and the movie that came out. But he's taken this side dish and elevated it to a main course. With
I
those,
know.
You know, breading it with pork rinds and using the fresh Arkansas strawberries and the shrimp with it. I mean, that is a dish fit for a king. It's just really good work.
That was truly, all of them made me hungry, but that one made me really hungry, and I'm going to be dragging for that recipe because I think it's fabulous.
Well, all of the recipes that you see here today, whenever you call in, this is our gift to you. No matter what level that you choose, we're going to get you a booklet that has all of the recipes that you see on Home Cooking today.
I think that's wonderful. How can you go wrong? Support Arkansas PBS and great programming. Get some great recipes. I know y'all love great recipes. So now, if you're already a member of Arkansas PBS, if you've made a donation or you're a sustainer, thank you so much. But you know, if you haven't made a gift before, or if it's been a few years since you've made a gift, we have this great opportunity. The Susan Howarth Foundation has challenged us to bring on 3,000 new members, new donors in a 100-day period. Now, we are getting close to the end of 100 days, and we have gotten close to that 3,000, but we're still needing to hear from you. So if you can go ahead and call in, make a gift at whatever level is comfortable for you, and count in on that, that means an additional $20,000 that goes into our programming fund. And here's some enticement for you to think about that, as well as those of you who maybe already have made a gift, but maybe you'd like to make an additional one. If you'd like the DVD of the program, we have that available for your gift of $60, or being a sustainer at $5 a month. And not only do you get the program, but you get additional chefs and recipes, those that didn't make it into the program but were submitted. That will also be on the DVD. So you're getting a lot more on that. And then, of course, at $120, or being a sustainer at $10 a month ongoing, you have your selection of one of 4 of Kat's fabulous books. And I'm going to let her talk about what she knows best.
Oh, there's so much of Arkansas food that should be celebrated, like strawberries, which of course Zara showed us with her accomplices on camera. These strawberries featured here were from Holland Bottom Farms at Cabot, which is a very popular place to go and get your strawberries. But strawberries are just one of more than 300 different Arkansas foods covered in Arkansas Food, the A to Z of eating in the natural state. This book has more than 130 different recipes, plus more than 450 full color photos covering the span of Arkansas cuisine. This is the cookbook that you need if you want to cook all of Arkansas. But say you're not so interested in cooking, but you do love eating. Well, that's where you come in with 101 things to eat in Arkansas before you die. Covering all of Arkansas's regions, this book has exactly what it says on the cover, 101 different dishes that you need to try across the natural state at our many restaurants. Say, for instance, you are in in Southwest Arkansas and down towards El Dorado, and you want to go to the original Minuteman restaurant or to McClard's Barbecue over in Hot Springs, the phone numbers are in there, plus the dishes that you need to try. Run out of ideas in this book? Well, then you have 102 more things to eat in Arkansas before you die. Once again, set out across the entirety of the natural state. You can have some magnificent beef brisket at Black Sheep Barbecue up in Yellville, Arkansas, like on the cover. Or say we want to go to the Delta and, oh yes, some barbecue chicken and ribs at the world famous Ray's Barbecue in West Memphis. It's all right here. Plus, if you love pie, this is the travel guide for pie lovers in the natural state, another slice of Arkansas pie. This is the companion book to Arkansas PBS's documentary, Make Room for Pie, and it includes more than 400 different places to find pie in the state of Arkansas, plus 33 different recipes for pies that you are going to want to try. Any of these books are our gift to you.
Well, and if that's not enough to choose from, we have Modeling by the Fabulous Cat, the PBS Nerd Apron. So if you like showing people your support, you can go ahead and make a gift of $144 or choose to be a sustainer at $12 a month ongoing and request the Arkansas PBS Nerd shirt. I should say PBS Nerd Apron. I'll get it correct. That's all right. Okay, and know that if you can't make up your mind about those wonderful books by Kat or the apron or the DVD, for your gift of $360 or choosing to be a sustainer at $30 a month, we'd love to send all of those items to you as our way of saying thank you. And at any of those levels, all those things we've talked about, you'll also receive that small recipe book that includes all the recipes that are in the program. So you get everything. What's not to love? Programs on Arkansas PBS, great things that you can share with your family. So go ahead and give us a call. Make sure that you let them know how much you enjoy this program. And one of the fastest ways that you can help support and easiest on your budget by choosing to become a sustainer. We talked about all those different gift levels that would be a sustainer. This is you making a commitment. You choose the amount that is done monthly. You decide whether it's a credit card or you have it electronically drawn from your checking account. Once you set it up, it happens every month. It automatically renews, but you can make changes anytime that you wish. It's easy on your budget, and it helps Arkansas PBS know on a monthly basis what we have available to not only look ahead to purchase the programs you love, but to also look and see if there's something new out there that we think you'd enjoy seeing. So give us a call, make that commitment, 1-800-662-2386. All gifts, however you choose to make it, at whatever level you choose to make it, they're all important. We value them all. We appreciate those of you who have already given. We appreciate those of you who have been making sustainer gifts, and we'd really love to include you into our family if you've never made a gift to Arkansas PBS before, or it's been a few years. Support us. Give us a call. Volunteers can tell you more about everything. 1-800-662-2386.